Pool A, the round between New Zealand and France. New Zealand, well, of course, the Rugby World Cup, the reigning winners of the last HSBC Sevens, and 5 times they've beaten here in Dubai, but not since 4 years ago. They've met France 45th time, and France haven't beaten them since 8 years ago. New Zealand, well, what a side. Looks like the strongest side even before the World Cup, perhaps. Still there, that remarkable quartet of DJ, Mickelson, Raikkonen, Thammer. And the recall, not in Gold Coast, the power of Bryce Heem, Gilles Kaka and Sherwin Stowers. The return of Joe Webber this season. And the new player who's come in, looks very promising, coming out of the New Zealand under-20s, Ambrose Curtis. France, though, the most squad of continuity. 10 of them have played more than 12 tournaments. The captain, Vincent Deniot, the experienced playmaker, Paul Albadejo, and one debut is Vincent Martin, 21-year-old, who has been in France's 15 squad recently. Big problem, though, for France against the reigning Rugby World Cup. Well, New Zealand, Willie, look the real favourites, don't they? A class side. Yeah, they really do. Great balance there. You mentioned the quartet, but then the young players that are coming through and just chipping away and getting all that intellectual property, that knowledge that fabulous four that you mentioned actually have. In fact, I was talking to Gordon Teachins the other day, and he sort of said, yeah, I think it's probably one of the greatest sides he's got at the moment. Well, that's a big compliment from Gordon, because he's had a number of great sides over his illustrious career since he's taken the helm of the New Zealand side in 1994. It's quite interesting, really. I mean, he's got the talent, hasn't he? I mean, he brings in Bryce Heem, that big guy, this new guy, Ambrose Curtis, big, fast and strong. So here they come. DJ Forbes, the captain, of course, his 9th season, and this his 59th tournament. Although Raikkonen has on his 60th, and Tomasi Thammer is his 57th. But, of course, Dubai, well, they haven't won here since 2009, when they beat Samoa that year, and they want something here, certainly. 5 times they've won Dubai. Well, very first tournament was in 99, first ever tournament. We see DJ Forbes on screen there, Nigel, and everyone keeps saying, you know, where does Gordon Teachins get these players? Well, I can tell you there's a secondary school tournament happening in New Zealand this weekend, and that's where the stars of tomorrow will come from. Referee, Rhys Thomas from Wales, and immediately into the hands of DJ Forbes. Knock on advantage. Knock on advantage playing to France. Well, of course, France, if they get something early, they have that confidence. We see that in 15s, and always, of course, at Dubai, they have the French band as well. You can hear it. Crouch! And it's the anthem as well they're playing at the moment, if they want them. So, Candelon, this little guy, 33-year-old, just taken from Albaladejo. Now it's Julien Janet into the hands of DJ again. Candelon playing in the scrum half position, normally on the wing. And then Deniot got advantage being taken. Knock on by Albaladejo. Time off. Deniot there, this big, powerful 31-year-old. First played in London, 2005. Really experienced. It's extraordinary, really, isn't it? That you know, these players have got so much experience than any other country in the whole 16. Black ball, knock on. I'll have you in the middle, please. Okay, crouch. Bind. Set. Away by Thammer. Then Webber, interesting there. This is Mickelson. He's been absolutely brilliant the last 2-3 years, better than ever, I think. He was Player of the Year last year.
Well, a little bit of gamesmanship there, but just some mistakes from the New Zealand side. Here is Weber. Really, you just don't retaliate.
Friendly. There's the band. Come down right the southwest of France they come. Always here. I don't know if it helps the French at all. I don't have the players playing. Never mind. Candelon again into the hands of Albaladejo. He's been very much the playmaker over the years. In 5 years where he first played here in Dubai. Good pass. Inside again to Candelon. A little tiny winger really. Now it's Dalinja. Big chance here. Denio, the captain. Three All Blacks get around him.
You can see the pressure there, and New Zealand were stretched, but just a great read from Tim Mikkelsen coming in off his wing and coming in for the spot tackle to try and close it down there, and that's where the knock-on occurred.
And these All Blacks have this really big, strappy players. Just wrap them up. Not this man, Tomasi Thama. Now 33-year-old. His 10th season, extraordinary, playing as well as ever the last 2 years, I would say, since he first played in Singapore 2005.
Well, this is unusual for the New Zealanders to have not posted any points in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. Titchens looks on, but now they've split the players from the scrum here. They've got Brad Weber out to the left and Tim Mikkelsen is out to the right. You can just see him coming into your picture now, so options both ways. And of course, Tomasi Thama, the playmaker, the general and the architect. He'll see which way that the ball comes out of the scrum and determine whether he goes right or left.
It's a development really, isn't it, of having Mikkelsen on the wing. Here he goes now, switches it across into the hands of Weber. Stowers managed to get it back into the hand. DJ Forbes, careless at the moment, held up. Good work by the France. Now Thama. Stowers. Good tackle coming from Candelon. Once again, Scott Curry. And away by Weber again. Switch to Thama. Very good tackling coming from France. They're really piling onto them. Can't get away. This is Dixon. Now to DJ. Goes himself. Caught from behind, but the support is there of Scott Curry. He's going to go for the corner. Can't fail. Eventually, great work really by DJ Forbes, set it up so well, but a poor pass, and a poor pass that came to DJ Forbes, and a bad defence from France.
It was all about patience, and that's what the New Zealanders showed here. The break there from Forbes. Denio didn't come with him, and then Scott Curry supported well on the outside. Candelon tried so valiantly to try and pull him down before he'd got to the line, and that's the last part of it. Boy, it's taken 4 long minutes for New Zealand to first register their points. Good defence from France so far.
Well, 1 against 1, and Renaud Delmas really missed his chance. Here's Tomasi Thama. Short that time, and just one try with less than 1 minute to go of this first half. Pretty unusual really for New Zealand, isn't it?
It is for 6 minutes for them to only score 1 try, but it's a long tournament and just trying to get rid of the cobwebs.
Set up well on And this is Albaladejo. He needs some support. He's got the support of Janet. Oh, the ball went forward into the hand of Delmas. Unlucky there. Nicely done on the short side.
He's class, isn't he, Albaladejo? The dummy, and everybody took it. Then he came down the flank here. Janet. The pass, they tried to transfer it there to Delmas. Boy, big defence from Stowers. He was called on there, and he made a good tackle.
Well, just remind you that this is what, the 46th time New Zealand have played France. They've only ever beaten twice. And they're really close at the moment. But now the breakaway of Joe Webber, coming back from this season. And there is the half-time, and New Zealand just with one try, 5-0 against France.
He wasn't happy, Sir Gordon, and then he calmed down and he just started saying, okay, this is what we need to do, is actually be patient. Don't need to score from the set piece. Have depth, and then we attack. And let's see if the troops were listening.
Well, just the 3 changes from the Rugby World Cup in Moscow, of course, when they were the winners in the final.
Ready, Captain!
Sama, one of the 3 players who was in the last time they won here in Dubai, 2009. The other 2, Raikambula and Forbes as well. France's ball. Denio standing off. Candelon. Then by Albaladejo. Candelon trying to get away, very quick, but easily tackled, really. Covering Sama. And his father was a wonderful player, playing for Fiji as well in the 7s. And here's Mickelson. Key player last season, and before that into the hands then of Dixon. Dixon tries to get it away, ball went forward, advantage being played here, but it'll be a quick scrummage here.
Missed opportunity there from Dixon. He had Tharma to his left and he just needed to give him the ball, and it would have been try number 140, with the man on screen is Tim Mickelson that we're looking at. Better patience shown there from New Zealand, but that's another missed opportunity that Gordon Titchens will have written down in that little red book of his. There'd be a few things written down in those books over the last 20-odd years.
Some rude words as well, I should think. This is Delmas, really quick. More confidence here, certainly with France. They played in the Gold Coast. They won the bun final, and here is Candelon. He's quick. He's got the pace. Mickelson won't get him, nor will Tharma. So back come France to leave it at 5 points all.
His 35th try in his career for Julien Candelon, and that's a 14-point, well, a 12-point turnaround, because New Zealand should have scored their second. They came to a set piece. And then here, Julien Candelon, he got around the outside of Sam Dixon. And as you say, Nigel, he's got plenty of pace, and he just pinned his ears back, backed his skill, and France are back.
Well, he's done really well. And he's no youngster, he's a 33-year-old now. Very quick. Played well for Agen and Perpignan over the years as 15s. This could lead it. With the conversion, no, made a mess of it. By Albaladejo, shame, but still a bit of pressure now on New Zealand, that's for sure. 4 minutes to go.
Now the passes are pretty even of these two teams. 23 plays 20 for New Zealand. Tackles completed 12 all as well, so that's the reason why it's so close. Patience, remember, is what Gordon Titchens asked for, and let's see if New Zealand have got some of that now.
Well, France did pretty well last year. They came 4th in the final, and they beat Fiji in the Cup quarter-final. But here's Mickelson. the danger man. Into the hands, very hard pass that was to Webber. Into the hands now of Heem, Bryce Heem, big powerful man. The break of Heem, and back come New Zealand with the tremendous break by Bryce Heem here. This big powerful man, 6'4", 15'8". Last played in Glasgow last season, and of course was in the Rugby World Cup in Moscow. Back again, and bit of relief for Gordon Tietjens, I'm sure.
Well, he's had a terrific ITM Cup season, which is the domestic season in New Zealand, and he just got on the outside of Gruppovой, showed the ball there, and he was gone. A tremendous season of domestic rugby gave him the opportunity to get back into the sevens circuit, and what an impact from the bench for Bryce Heem.
Important that was, getting back in. So
well, his nickname's Avatar.
Yes.
And he was a hit
12
there.
points to 5. Still a chance for France to level it up. Just over 2.5 minutes to go. Penalty here, though, to New Zealand. Held on too long. Mistake by Manuel Dalinia. Bit of address to DJ Forbes by Rhys Thomas, saying, "Don't want your comments, thank you."
Well, 5 missed tackles from France. There's a stat that, geez, you miss 2 against New Zealand, you get punished.
Switch to Sama to DJ Forbes. Goes into the hands of Scott Curry here. Well, the Gold Coast, of course, where New Zealand hammered Australia in the final, 40-19. That was in October. Candelon again. Abladejo taking his time, a bit too late in getting the pass eventually to Denio. Can't just lie on the floor. Denio's mistake.
Well, the set piece earlier didn't work. And they're just throwing the ball to a person in a worse position. Bryce Heem on the ground there, just throwing the speculator.
Just 1 minute to go. 12-5, New Zealand leading. Tamasi Sama into the hands of Webber. On the loop goes Webber. Poor pass. Misunderstanding there. This is the new player, Ambrose Curtis. Well, he impressed very much in the Gold Coast. This 21-year-old from Wellington, coming out of the New Zealand under-20s. And very good.
It's the power, isn't it? Right through there. Ball in the right hand so that he could use his left to get rid of Martin. His first touch in Dubai, and it's one that he'll remember because he was the rookie player of the Gold Coast, voted by, of course, the good folk who follow Twitter.
Well, he's big, fast, strong, as you saw there. Scored 4 tries in Gold Coast on his first debut. 19 points to 5. Didn't go 10 metres. Disappointment for France, really, coming back in this second half. Vincent Inigo. Albaladejo into the hands of the new man, Vincent Martin. Albaladejo again. And wide, Dalinia. Another player of real experience, 25th. Dangerous here for Curtis on pressure. Vijal. And again in the hands of Ambrose Curtis. Could be a chance here now with Webber. Good tackle coming in from Dalinia. Pressure again, Scott Curry. Nicely support from Sama to Heem. Another try. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? New Zealand, just thinking of the 15s, always at the last minute they get the try against Ireland, and they did it in the Rugby League as well, and they've done it here as well. 24-5, the last second of the moment of the game. Goes wide from Thama, but still, in the end, second half was better. But I don't think Gordon teachers will be particularly pleased about that. But still, New Zealand 24 beat France to 5. Well, it's interesting that it's quite easy, well, very level in the first half anyway. And in fact, throughout the whole game, it was 17 tackles for both teams. And let's go down and have a word with DJ Forbes.
Well, DJ, like the All Blacks last weekend, you were made to work hard for that, or did you make it look hard work?
Oh, mate, it's always hard work, and I mean, every team that we play now are always out for our scalp. So, you know, to knuckle down the first game of the tournament, get a good one in the end was still pleasing.
Full-time Sevens players now, is more expected of you?
Oh, it was hard enough just representing New Zealand, let alone being full-time now. The team on paper is pretty amazing, and I think, you know, the accountability is going to be the big thing, you know, making sure that we can front up on the field.
Thanks, DJ.
Cool, cheers.